Who pays on the first date?
Men.
Why?
I disagree. The person whose idea the first date was pays for the first date.
All right, let's get into it. Let me say this.
If you ask somebody on a first date, that means you intend to pay.
Right.
No matter what the gender is.
Why is she asking you on a first date?
That's my point. If she's asking me on a first date, that means she wants to pay. I bet.
But why?
Take me out, baby girl.
I'm talking. Oh, brother. What I'm talking about is that should never get to that point.
What is going on? Welcome to the Fupas and Flapjacks Podcast. My name is Jay, and that's
Trey. What's popping?
Welcome to another episode, and we are always joined by none other than the voice of God, the podcast Dr. Phil.
I've got a fupa.
We're going to start putting down a t-shirt.
We need to.
All right, y'all. Welcome to another episode. You guys have been really listening and liking and commenting on our clips, and we really do appreciate the likes, the comments, the subscriptions. You guys are doing a great job building this community that we're trying to build to uplift us as people, not just uplift men, uplift black women as well. And this episode is going to be a little of a cliche episode.
I'm just happy to get this. Let's just get it over with. Let's just get it
get
over with
with
so we don't have to talk about no. I already know what the comments gonna be like. This conversation is so tired.
I'm so sick of this conversation. Like, why we keep talking about this?
Dude's gonna be talking about we Sims.
Hold on. Why
you don't be holding them accountable like you need to be holding them accountable.
So why y'all still talking about this in 2025? We need to leave this alone.
We just getting out the way.
All right,
we getting out the way.
This episode is about traditional gender roles in modern dating. Now, let me introduce the conversation for the topic at hand. But you gonna go first? I'm gonna go first after I introduce the conversation.
You go first.
I bet I got this.
I talk about this all the time.
All right. So for the introduction, all right. Let me catch my breath for a second. All right. So we're gonna acknowledge how traditional gender roles affect and are being redefined, I should say, right? Redefined here in dating. And also we're going to discuss how it's just easier to find somebody who agrees with your acknowledgement of what a gender role should be in a relationship. For example, for me to start off the conversation, me personally, when it comes to gender roles, when it comes to cooking, cleaning, washing dishes, washing laundry, whatever the case is in the house, that is not a man or woman thing. That is a person thing. If you're a single man, you should be cleaning, washing, and cooking after yourself. Just like if you're a single woman, you should be doing it after yourself. Now, my issue is when this conversation turns from the household duties to who's paying what. I grew up in a house with, mind you this, I'm going to say this, I'm the descendant of two immigrants, beautiful mom and dad, Haitian Dominican descent, and I grew up in a house where when it came to the bills, my parents went like 70-30. My dad paid 70% of the bill. My mom paid 30, and plus she paid for our school clothes and sneakers. I'm the youngest of 7, by the way.
7?
Yeah, I'm
7.
I'm the baby of 7.
Good God.
Googly, boogly.
Y'all didn't know I was the baby of 7?
I didn't know.
I thought it was like 4 of y'all.
No, it was 7 of us.
Dang, your parents was working.
This nigga is out of pocket. But growing up in that household and seeing that, even though my dad and my mom are more traditional in their lifestyle, it mind boggles me that a lot of you buffoons out there continue to have this conversation as if this is a big deal. If you don't have all your shit together, if someone truly loves you, you're a couple. You're a unit. You're a partnership. Figure it the fuck out. It shouldn't be like, oh, I'm going to stay around the house and do nothing all day. So he should take care of everything because he's the man. Oh, my woman should be making sure the house is clean. walking around barefoot and pregnant, waiting for me to come smash when I get home. That's the dumbest shit I ever heard in my fucking life. Trey, you can take over, bro, before I go in.
Putting me on the spot, man. It's crazy.
Come on, nigga.
Okay. I'll say this, right? And I this is what made me blow up on TikTok in the first place, was talking about healthy relationships, navigating healthy relationships, and this conversation itself. And I know it's tired, and I'm happy. Like I said, I'm happy we can get this over with. 6 episode. We don't got to come back to it again unless someone asks us to. Everyone has the right to desire whatever type of relationship they want, as long as they understand the ramifications and the chances of whatever the relationship that you want to happen. There are some people who want certain relationships, men and women, that want relationships that they will not attain. They need to touch grass. That's for some people. There are others who can obtain those relationships. Now, whether those succeed or last, that's not for me to decide or for us to even guess, but there are people who can obtain those relationships that they desire. For majority of people in this economy, it is best for people to find out how to work together. And that is not just financial, it is in the home. Men need to do a better job at coming home, assisting their wife, whether that be cooking, cleaning, supporting kids. And as I said in the video before, black men are the best at raising kids. We are the most active fathers, and that's been studied, that's been proven with kids. And just being supportive of a wife and being more emotionally intelligent for women. I'm not saying women aren't emotionally intelligent, all because there are some women who aren't emotionally intelligent, but being better at being emotionally intelligent and figuring out our mental health. Then when it comes to women,
go ahead.
Women need to understand this is 2025, just like men, it's 2025. You all can work now. and if you are working, your money has to go somewhere. With the 75% of people in America who are not rich, majority of us are not rich. So that means you need to touch grass and understand that your money has to go somewhere, whether that's 10%, 90, 80, 20, 70, 30, 60, 40, 50, 50, however the split up is, you need to figure that out. Would I love to be a traditional man and pay all the bills and provide for my family? I would love to. But based on whatever is going on right now in the world, it's not happening right now. That's my goal. That's why I desire to provide for a family. It's not happening right now. So until it happens, specifically for me, I need someone who's going to ride for me until I can make that happen. Because that's the goal. If you aren't unable to do that and be a team player to make that happen, then you are going to remain single. That's just what it is. That's how the numbers work. That's how everything works. I'm not telling women to go mess with a bum. I'm not telling women to go mess with a mediocre man who's not trying to get better or elevate. I'm not telling women to mess with a man who has no home training skills, who's dirty, who doesn't have his own car, who has his own apartment. I think it's dumb to date a guy who doesn't have his own car or own home, because how can he take care of you or provide for you if he doesn't have his own to bring something to you? So I'm not saying that's to date a bum. But if it is a average earning man who's an honest working person who wants to grow and continue to push and wants to invest and do certain things, and your 60 plus his 60 makes 120, and y'all can take that money and invest and do certain things together, why not take that chance?
Yeah.
Instead of worrying about what social media look like, what people do on social media, and a lot of it's fake. There's a lot of fake people on social media faking like they got money, faking like their relationship's happy, faking like they got it together. So it would behoove a lot of people to go outside and touch grass and realize that we need to survive in this world right now. We need to go back to old ways and come together and work as a team.
So
that's my piece.
So besides the financial aspect of relationships and gender roles in relationships, when it comes to like in the household itself, I feel like a lot of things in a lot of these conversations when it comes to things within the household itself would be easily negated if you just find out what your partner is good at and what you're good at, and you guys just work on those strengths together.
Yeah.
Like for example, I spoke about it before. I dated a girl for a while who didn't know how to cook, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know how to cook. I'm a damn good fucking chef myself. You know what I'm saying? I know how to,
When you cook,
little flambe.
What's your best dish?
Nigga, I'm born.
What's your best dish?
I'm born from a Haitian family. I know how to cook.
What's your best dish?
Nigga, I will make some fucking legume and some rice in this motherfucker, and you be like, okay, yeah.
Some beans and rice. That's your best dish?
Legume is not beans.
What's legume?
Legume is like beef stew. And
see, I'm not from the, you're talking to someone who, I'm a black American.
Oh, sorry. I forgot you're FBA. I do apologize. I do apologize. See, that's cultural disconnect we talked about in the previous episode.
Because I'm telling you, I can make a mean salmon, asparagus, and good rice.
Yeah, I can make a good, rack of lamb, you know what I'm saying? With some shrimp on the side, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I could do a little something, you know.
I was just trying to make sure what your dish was.
Nigga, I'm not a chicken Alfredo dude, bro.
What's wrong with chicken Alfredo?
A girl will be like, "Oh, I'm cooking for you." Pull up his chicken Alfredo.
That's not bad if it's really good.
Jerk chicken Alfredo, man. Jerk pasta.
Can we stop the Rasta pasta? Stop Rasta pasta in 2025.
Why?
Rasta pasta needs to be done in 2025.
Man, I just had some today, nigga.
Yeah, well, that's it for you. That's it for you for 2025, sir. But no, I think a lot of this discord, that's a never-ending conversation, it seems, because it seems like this pops up every other couple of months, and I feel like we're going to be the reason why it pops up again this time around, so sorry. Apologize. You'll be all right. Is because it seems that this conversation specifically tends to divide the black community like...
Oh, I wanted you to say it so I can stop it and cut in. Finish your statement so I can come in.
This conversation seems to divide the black community kind of like the LeBron and Jordan conversation.
Oh, but this is the problem.
What's up?
Black people don't know other races.
Yeah.
Like white people don't know black people. Asian people don't know black people. Black people don't know. Everyone is going through the same thing. Mm-hmm. White women are online complaining about white men right now about not cleaning and cooking and doing stuff. The same thing with Latino women complaining about Latino men. This happens for everybody. Mm-hmm. This is not a black problem.
It's not. It's not at all.
Now, do we get married less? Yes, but we can talk about social economical issues and why we're getting married less and what's going on.
We got a later episode for that.
Yeah, we can do that later.
We got another episode for that.
But just because people are getting married more does not mean they're happy marriages. Mm-hmm. And they are complaining just like...
Doesn't mean they're successful marriages either.
Right. They are complaining just like everyone else is complaining.
Yeah.
There are white men complaining about white women and vice versa, all this other stuff. So I can't stand when we do this bicker back and forth for black men and black women, acting like we're the only ones with the issue.
Yeah.
I promise you, go to another race, you're gonna have the same issues talked about. Them Latino women be around the kitchen counter shitting on their dudes. So it's the same thing. I really detest that because it really makes it seem like we talk about each other like it seems like we are the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
When everyone's human and goes through the same things. That is my problem. So in my head I was thinking about that. I wanted to bring that up, but you kind of like did that for me. So
hit the nail on the head.
Yeah. So I had to, like, you placed the nail on the head.
Okay, John Henry.
Yeah.
But also another thing is too, I feel like there's a missing aspect of emotional intelligence when we talk about these when people have these conversations in their actual relationship dynamic, if that makes any sense. So I'll speak from my personal experience. So I had this is a year ago. No, it's more than a year ago. Trey, if you do this bullshit again, so help me fucking God. You're doing it again.
I'm sure I know who we're talking about.
This is going to be a never-ending issue. Trey, stop this narrative.
I just want to know who you're talking about. I'm trying to think about the years. You don't even know which year you're talking about. I'm trying to figure out the year.
How do I explain this without giving her name away?
Let's call her Deborah.
No. Let's call her Isabella, and she's Dominican. You saw I did that, right? Give me some. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. You see how I did that, right? Hey. Yeah.
All right.
I'm him. Timothy, him Duncan. Anyways, don't do that. Don't give me the beige rage right now. Anyways.
This man is insane.
Yeah, this nigga's just laughing in the background. That's hilarious. But Isabella or Isabella. If you make that a clip, so help me God.
Oh, that's clipped.
That's clipped? All right,
That's
bet.
clip
All right, listen. All right, look, let me give you the rest of the clip right now. All right, so this is a girl I used to talk to. Her name was Isabella. And she was more so for the traditional modern dating, right? Mm-hmm. Traditional views and all that stuff. But when her and I had a sit-down conversation about it, she wanted a man to be a provider, all that shit. Shit that I want to do, personally. But obviously, I wasn't in that aspect. I wasn't in that part of my life just yet, right?
Yeah.
She ended up ghosting me. You know this. You know the story.
Casper, yeah.
Yeah, she ended up going Casper, but then she ended up popping up again. Correct? What did she do again, Trey?
Which part of the story?
Yeah, go ahead. She ghosted me again.
Yeah.
And she's a firm contributor, well, a firm supporter of this podcast as well. She's a big supporter of this podcast as well. What's up, shorty? But having the conversations with her makes me realize that there's a big disconnect in everybody's cultures. It don't matter what color you are. Like everyone, like you said, everyone's going through it. And I feel like when I say there's an emotional and mental aspect that's being missed in this, is that a lot of people think just because I'm sexually or physically attracted to you, that I'm automatically just gonna key to your needs or what you want in a relationship. That's not how things work. People lack the communication and the communication and the self-awareness to be like, yo, I'm not ready for that right now, rather than trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that's going to be able to be fixed so quickly, because it seems that us as a society, not just black people, us as a society in general, don't seem to have great communication skills to have these conversations without it being a negative discord around it.
Yeah. Like I said, a TikTok video I did, I think what happened was that dating and marriage transitioned too fast.
Yeah.
And it matured and it evolutionized way too fast.
Yeah.
I think people are still stuck in 1980, living in 2025 when it comes to relationships. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have the 1980 relationship if you want it, but majority of us need to transition to where we currently are at in 2025.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with somebody and I was like, hey, you got to understand, like, we were talking about men and women competing with each other. Mm-hmm. And she said that I feel like men are in competition with women. And I said, yes. When you go to a corporate job now, I am in competition with you.
Yeah.
My application versus yours.
Yeah.
You are working. Yes, I'm in competition with you. Yes, I have to go get that 6-figure job like you do.
Yeah.
That's what's going on in the world now. Now it is, I have to compete with men and women to get the job that I want.
Yeah.
And if we have the exact same qualifications, it's up in the air.
Yeah.
So I don't think people understand that part now.
Yeah.
So now if I don't get the job that you got, I'm the bum.
Yeah.
Even though I got the same exact qualifications as you.
Yeah.
I think people are missing on both ends on the spectrum for that. Like, we are in totally different times now that we have to adjust accordingly, and we're not doing it. Again, guys, I promise you, if I could do it all, I'd pay for it all. But right now I can't do that. Mm-hmm. And that's a goal I have. That's something I want to do. And I think every man should strive to provide, protect for their family completely. I think that's just something that, as a man innately, you should strive to do.
This is exactly true.
Yeah, I think they should strive to do. But I'm not saying by all means does that provision and protection, meaning you are less of a man,
just because you're not at
that point.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of men need to understand.
I'll be honest with you though. Sorry to cut you off. I think you're less of a man if you're not trying to get to that point.
Yes. You be okay with the process.
Yeah, exactly.
Be okay with there's a lot of women who just want to see a man who's trying.
Yeah.
And they want to see you at least attempting to do something different. Attempting to take that teacher salary that's $50, $60K. See if you take maybe $25, $30, $40 or whatever and invest in something, hoping you hit a lick.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to see you trying to do something. And some men are failing or falling to the pressure of doing it.
Yeah.
When there are women who would just be proud of you for going out and trying. So, and I think on the flip spectrum, because we talk about men, from a woman's perspective, applying that pressure to men to do that.
Yeah.
You got to like ease a bit.
Yeah.
We are in stressful situations right now. And I know you want the Chanel. I know you want the Louis. I know you want the Porsche Macan. I want the Porsche Macan. That's on my mood board. The Porsche Macan is on my mood board. I want it.
It's like I know you think I adore you, so you want me to Dior you, but maybe girl.
Yeah, like you got these sayings, man, every single time. Yes, but I'm just saying that chill for a little bit. Mm-hmm. Motivate, still stay with your man, motivate your man, do your thing, because women are doing their thing. Do your thing. But ease. And men and women, when you're in a relationship, there's no competition.
I'm gonna be real with you though, when it comes to these gender role shits. Me as somebody who is an entrepreneur, who is building a business, who's doing this with my best friend,
mm-hmm.
I find it more attractive if I date a woman who's doing something similar. And I'm saying she has to be in this space of creating content. More so like if you're doing something to make yourself get ahead, that's way more attractive to me than somebody who's just, taking it day by day. Just I don't really know what to do. I'm just gonna work this job.
That's crazy because I just had a conversation with a young lady, and I said, I think it's very fascinating when a woman can do her own thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do my own thing, and then we come together. She asked me a question, and she said, "Are you more of a we in a relationship, or are you two individuals that come to we?" And I said, "I'm two individuals. I'm me, and I have my life. You are you, and you have your life. Mm-hmm. Then we come together. We can share our experiences and everything. But I don't want to. I want to be with someone who's them.
Yeah.
Please don't be a chameleon and assimilate to me.
Yeah.
One thing that I found unattractive when I've dated certain women, and we're going off course.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Is that I turn into the main source of entertainment, the focus, everything. I didn't date you because of that. I got with you because you were the main focus. And I'm the main focus. And I think the beautiful thing about that, the beautiful thing about me focusing on me, you focusing on you, is that when we come together, we can bring something to the imaginary table that everyone talks about to provide for the home. I see, I brought it right back.
Yep. So to kind of wrap up this episode, because this episode is, for both of us, this episode is pretty annoying, but it's something we had to talk about just to get it out the way with the way this podcast is going. How do you feel people can have these conversations and still, I guess for lack of a better term, kind of maintain their dignity? Because a lot of people feel like if you have, a lot of men, I should say, feel like if you have this conversation with your significant other or somebody you're courting, it makes it seem like you're less than because you're opening up the vault of, hey, yeah, like what you think about going, 50-50 on some stuff, you know what I'm saying, for the time being while I'm working on my thing. They feel like they're less of a man. How do you feel like, me personally, I'll just say this, let me answer the question before you go. Me personally, as a man or as just a human basic person, bro, you should be able to have conversations that are comfortable with somebody you truly care about. or somebody who truly cares about you. That's how you learn if they truly care about you, when you have these conversations that are uncomfortable. Certain conversations when you build relationships or building towards a relationship is going to be a little tumultuous. It's going to be a little tension in the air. But if you guys put your egos to the side and find a middle ground, it makes your relationship grow a little bit better. I'm sorry I'm moving my hands a lot. This is
so good. It's one of the greatest.
Yeah, I feel like a preacher. You know what I'm saying?
You look like Trump.
One of the greatest, I promise.
You gotta do the chicken nugget dip right here. One of the greatest.
Big Lee. I promise you, it's one of the greatest.
But
Big Lee.
how do you feel that people can get around that? To actually have these healthy conversations that are still uncomfortable, to try to find a middle ground. And if it's not a middle ground, like 60, 70, whatever the case is.
I think that I'm not gonna say I don't know how much of a list I'm gonna make, so I'm just gonna go off.
Yeah.
1, delivery matters.
I agree.
As a man or as a woman, how you're delivering what you desire and what you want matters. As a man, not trying to attack a woman, not trying to tell her how to live her life, and as a woman, not belittling a man. That's 1. 2, I believe that it's very important to be very straightforward and honest of exactly where you are in life. I'm going to give you the opportunity to give me a chance or not give me a chance.
Right.
If you don't give me a chance, you were not meant for me. And as a man, speaking specifically from a man's perspective, don't let your ego be crushed because that's not the person for you. There are tons of women in the world. Somebody's going to be okay with where you're at right now, and they are not looking for material or for stuff or for money to be fulfilled. So that's the second thing I would say. The third thing I would say is don't bring it up. As far as don't let that be the main focus of the conversation.
Yeah.
Your main focus of the conversation first should be, I need to get to know who you are as a person first.
Correct.
Just to figure out because honestly, if I'm a Christian, you're not a Christian, or I want kids, you don't want kids, or whatever, those things should already
be nipped in the butt.
Nipped in the butt. If we can't get through certain other topics that we can we're on the same page about, there's no reason to talk about finances or anything.
Yeah.
There's no reason to bring that up. I think that also, to end what I'm going to say, that if if you bring up financials first, as a man or woman, you are insecure.
Yeah.
As a man, if you bring up financials, you are insecure because either way, you're insecure that you don't have the funds to do it, or you have the funds and you're insecure that she just wants you for the money.
Yep.
As a woman, you're insecure because either you don't have money and you need that man to provide for you, or you have the money and you're feeling like if you date this man,
it's like beneath you.
Yeah, or beneath you, or you're going to be paying for all his stuff.
Yeah.
And he's just going to be mooching off you. I don't think we should even talk about cash.
But I think in these conversations, there's a fine line in partnership and independence, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
There's a fine line in it. And how do you find that? How do you balance that? You know what I'm saying?
Conversation and talking.
Exactly.
Straight, and being straightforward.
Just like we having the Discord right now. Like it's literally that simple. I feel like just to end this, wrap it up. I'm gonna let Phil talk for a second, but it's literally as simple just having simple conversations to get some of this stuff nipped in the bud. By having conversations and being vulnerable and allowing yourself to have your guard down without being automatically volatile in these conversations. To thinking, oh, she want to go 50-50, she must think I'm broke. Oh, he want to go 50-50, he don't think I got my own. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Phil, what you think, bro?
I think that when you're talking about people, you're talking as if people know who they are. A lot of people don't know who they are, so they can't even have those conversations with their significant other.
I agree.
A lot of people shouldn't be even in relationships until they even find out who they are. Let alone having those conversations, but also just do what the fuck works for you. Like my marriage, my wife doesn't have to pay any bills, right? But there's a reason for that because of our son. You know, we have a special needs child who's severely disabled, and her job, I hate saying this, but is to take care of him for the most part, you know?
Yeah.
So why would I have to have her pay a bill? You know what I'm saying? Like her job is way harder than what I'm doing. I'm just talking on a microphone all day, you know? So when you hear the term 50-50, I think people only equate dollars to that.
Right, exactly.
Instead of what you contribute to the relationship, because money is just one part of the relationship. When you like, I don't say it's 50-50 because I'm not giving half of myself.
Yeah.
I know the term 100 is cliche, but I don't give really half myself. I'm in a relationship. I'm in the relationship. I'm going to give all that I can all the time. And if I can't, I need to be able to relay that to my partner, and they need to understand that is an option as well. And some people can't have those conversations. And I think that when you're courting someone and you're dating, you should have those conversations right off the bat, like the STD talk, you know? You ever had STD, you know? Or how are you when it comes to conflict?
Right.
You know? Because a lot of people don't know who they are until they go through a toxic relationship.
Yep.
And we don't need that shit.
And their back is against the wall.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. But I don't have a problem with a traditional relationship. That's just because my situation is unique. But if our son wasn't like that and he was just a regular normal kid, she would be working. You know, because that's what she would like to do.
Yeah.
So our situation dictates what happens, but I don't have a problem with it. If anybody, has a problem with my lifestyle, you're not living my lifestyle, so fuck you.
True words, man. Why words from a simple man?
I know, right?
Wise words from a simple man. The podcast doctor, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, y'all, this has been another great episode of Fupas Flapjacks Podcast. We will not be speaking about gender roles ever again on this show.
Hopefully.
No. Even if we get a guest on here, she wants to bring it up, I'm like, nip it in the bud. Next topic. We're not doing this ever again. I promise you.
Next episode, body counts.
That's
actually not a bad episode to have.
That's wild.
That's not a bad episode to have. What is too many? You know what I'm saying?
Who pays on the first date?
Oh shit, we should have had that in this episode.
Well, you got time to answer that.
But who pays on the first date?
Men.
Why?
I disagree. The person whose idea the first date was pays for the first date.
All right, let's get into it. Let me say this.
If you ask somebody on a first date, that means you intend to pay.
Right.
No matter what the gender is.
Why is she asking you on a first date?
That's my point. If she's asking me on a first date, that means she wants to pay. I bet.
But why?
Take me out, baby girl.
I'm talking. Oh, brother. What I'm talking about is that should never get to that point. I think girls could make the first move to I'm interested. But when it's time for that date, that's part of providing. You could provide.
If she asks me on the date, she can easily pay for that date.
Whatever, man.
On a first date, granted, to be fair, I've never had a girl pay for me on the first date. I don't think.
So then why are you arguing about it?
I'm arguing
even bringing it up
because I always ask on the first date to go on the first date. But if she asks me, yo, you pay. Whoever idea the date was pays for the date.
But why you ain't never even had that situation.
Let me
land.
I'm up here right now. I'm in cruising altitude right now. Let me get down for a little bit. All right, so check it. So the reason why I say that is because if you have the idea to take me on a date as a woman, that means you already have the place you want to plan out. That means I'm thinking of a woman if she has my brain, obviously. If I ask a girl on a date, I know exactly where I want to take her. I know exactly what the activity we're going to do after. I know exactly if we're going to do a nightcap, where we're going to drink at, and how to make sure we're close to her car so we can walk back to her car. You know what I'm saying? I already have all this planned. So if you as a woman are asking me on a date, okay, I'm expecting you to have all of this planned. Or have all of this at least outlined out.
Bruh, this shouldn't even really be no conversation for real. Man, take the girl on the first date. Me, man, take girl on date. First date. and then when you get with the girl, you've been with each other for a while. If you get to know, let's say you've been with a girl for 2-3 months. Mm-hmm. 2 months. Month and a half, 2 months. And she hasn't offered to do anything for you. I have a problem with that.
I feel you.
But on the first date, this is where you're supposed to showcase yourself as I can get you a meal. I can take you to the Top Golf. I can do whatever. We can kick and have a good time. I am going to maintain, especially for a man being from the Midwest. We are a little bit more traditional in the Midwest. I am going to want to be that guy to take you on the first date, court you and everything in that type of way.
I 100% feel you. I'm on the same boat. But if she asks me on the first date, it's a different conversation.
You know what we're doing right now? We're going in circles.
I know we're going in circles, round and round and round, and we go. I'm just saying, if she asks me on the date, she's paying.
And you got to give it up, right?
No, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up the dick on the first date.
If she flies you out somewhere, you gotta give it up, right?
If she flies me out, she gotta give me 1.5 mil like Skip Bayless, good. Give me that 1.5 mil. I'll helicopter that motherfucker. I'll helicopter that motherfucker across state lines for her.
If a girl flies you out, you're not giving up?
No. A girl's flown me out before for a date, and I did not give it up.
What? You didn't like her like that.
Nigga.
I didn't say all that.
You didn't like her like that.
I ain't say all that.
Yeah, you weren't attracted. She did something to give you the ick.
She did something on a date that gave me the ick.
Yeah, because you were a smash.
She gave me something on a date.
You were flying with the intentions of tooting that ass up.
She flew me out. She paid 2 nights for the hotel. I was like, oh, okay, bet. Let me, so I got the weekend free. Okay, let me pull.
And you didn't smash?
Well, this is in my past life, my whole life, before I had my kid and all this other shit.
So you were more horny.
Oh yeah, I was outside. Before Trey even met me. But I flew to, was it Phoenix? Phoenix.
That dry ass pussy.
Wow, that's crazy. But I flew out there, hung out with Shorty. Beautiful girl. I haven't spoken to her since.
What'd she do?
All right. Well, we're on a date, and this is the first day I got there. No, it's the second day I got there. First day I got there, I went straight to the hotel and knocked the fuck out because I had a jet lag or whatever. But second day I'm there. She picks me up in the morning, we go get breakfast. She's talking to me. She's like, yo, so you told me you were Haitian. She was Jamaican and Puerto Rican, I believe. Yeah, Jamaican and Puerto Rican. Jamaica Rican, yes. So she was like, yeah, you told me you were Haitian. Like, what's some of the food that you guys eat? So I was talking about, sauce pois legume, Dijon, like the typical Haitian stuff. And her growing up in a mostly white neighborhood around mostly racist white people, her first thing she says, why don't you just go on a breakfast date? We're not even towards lunch. 10 o'clock in the morning, she goes, I always hear jokes about like Haitians eat bats and cats and dogs. This is 2016, maybe 2017. And I remember looking at her like,
who told you?
What did you say?
Baby girl, I'm good. Let's put this shit in a box. I'm going back to the hotel.
Damn. You couldn't look past that?
Nah.
Yeah, that
she was willing to eat your old bat.
No, I'm good.
Man, I could have been your wifey. You could have taught her a lesson.
No, I'm good. I'm good. There's certain things like, hey, y'all know me, bro. My fucking humor is dark as hell. My humor is terrible, and I don't take a lot of shit. I don't take a lot of shit to the heart. But let's not crack like Haitian like eats this and eats that joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel that.
Because her being Jamaican,
they're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
I'm like, yo, baby girl,
very nasty people. I promise you.
I'm like, baby girl, you Jamaican and Puerto Rican. I got a catalog of jokes to get off. Especially growing up in Brooklyn, I grew up only around Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. Oh, I got jokes for days that still hit to this day.
Yeah, it's insane to say right off the plane,
right off the fucking tarmac, nigga. And she didn't even fly me. She didn't even fly me private. You know what I'm saying? She did a really good job on fucking up my day. Anyways, y'all, thank you for subscribing and listening to the Fupas and Flapjacks podcast. My name is Jay. That's
Trey.
And of course, we're always joined by the Fupa doctor.
Hey.
The podcast Dr. Phil, y'all. This has been another great episode. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll be back here on the Jay Derosier Media Network. Peace.